The next thing on our agenda is you guys know that we have Kathy and I. We have a non-for-profit organization called Hudson Valley Reentry Network, and we have several program platforms. One of the program platforms is a community initiative, and the community initiative is basically a program that we have created that identifies areas in the Dutchess County area and in specific Poughkeepsie that are run down or that are not being kept well. At the beginning of this year, 2017, we identified a park in Poughkeepsie called Malcolm X Park. Malcolm X Park is a park that was originally called the Morse Park, and it was named after, I think it was Robert Morse, which is a school right next to the park. And in the late 70s, a group of African American high school kids that were just getting ready to go off to college, they petitioned the Poughkeepsie City Council to change the name of the Morse Park to Malcolm X Park. Now, these kids went around the neighborhoods and they got petitions signed, and they did everything that was necessary to bring a petition to the Poughkeepsie City Council. And subsequently, the name of the park was changed from Morse Park to Malcolm X Park. Funny thing is that as soon as the name changed, or soon thereafter, then a lot of the park started to become neglected. It became a haven for violence, drug use, and just a lot of negative things. And for over 20 years, this park has declined to the point where people go to the park and they drink and they use drugs. They throw the debris there. There's very minimum cleanup. There was so much overgrowth in the park that if you looked in the front of the park, you couldn't see the back of the park because the trees and the bushes grew so high that literally there were areas in the park that were like rooms that had trees growing down and bushes growing up and concrete in the middle where drug addicts used to go and shoot up drugs.
Almost like caves, but
almost like, exactly. They were almost like caves. And literally, people could go into these little areas and shoot drugs in the daylight, and nobody would know that they were there. So we used to drive by Malcolm X Park frequently when we went to our office, Kathy and I. And every time we drove by, it bothered me personally that there was a big sign out there that said Malcolm X Park that was deteriorating, and that there was a fence that was folded up with holes in it around the basketball court, and it was a deplorable sight. It was garbage around. There's a creek that runs alongside of Malcolm X Park that had overgrowth and garbage in it, and it was just an eyesore to the community, and it was a disgrace to the great man called Malcolm X that we speak of every day, every time that we close this show. So we looked at it and we said, wow, what is going on with this park? Why is nobody taking care of this park? And at the same time, we were looking for an activity, for a place in Poughkeepsie that we could spearhead our community initiative. And just like I said earlier, our community initiative meant that we would identify a place in Dutchess County or Poughkeepsie, and we would utilize the volunteer services of formerly incarcerated people to revise that area. So 1 and 1 equals 2. And what happened was we said Malcolm X Park is going to be that place. This is where we're going to plant Hudson Valley Reentry Network's flag at, and this is where we're going to start. And we're going to utilize people who are positive and people who have served time and who want to come back and give back to the community. So in June of this year, we started to clean up the park every month. The first thing that we did was we went in and we destroyed those hidden areas in the park where addicts used to go and shoot drugs. We chopped down the trees. We got bushes out. And I remember there was a whole bunch of us. There were city council members, Ann Purry, Lorraine Johnson, Kathy, myself,
Joe Lepore
and his crew from LCS. Joe Lepore is a businessman in Poughkeepsie, New York. He runs a landscaping service.
Right, landscape and janitorial
service. And we went to him. He gave us garbage bags, and he gave us 6 of his men, and they worked 6 hours, and they brought heavy equipment to the park, and they cut down and cleaned up the park. They cut down trees. I mean, they did a phenomenal job. And in addition to that, for you guys in Fishkill, a young lady named oh man, I got brain locked.
I'm not sure what you were talking about, or I'd help.
For those guys in Fishkill, you know her, and I'm just getting brain locked. Lisa Velasquez came from the Coming Home program, and she brought a couple of the participants from the Coming Home program, and we ran through that park. We had around about 70 bags of brush and garbage that we laid out in the front of the park. And before that, we had gone to the mayor's office, and the mayor agreed to use city workers to come and collect the debris that we extracted from the park. I mean, it was a community initiative, and not only formerly incarcerated people worked and to clean this park, but we also had people in the community that came around and said, "Listen, that park used to be a nice place. I want to help. What can I do?" And we cleaned that park up. And the first time that we cleaned it up, we got a bad case of poison ivy. The city council, Lisa Velasquez, myself, and a couple of other people, we got a terrible case of poison ivy. I look like the I had it all on my face, and Kathy said Frankenstein. I had it all on my face, my neck, and everything. But the bottom line is we got it done. Yep. And we cleaned that park, and we took down so much of the debris that people could actually see the back of the park then. So we went back in July, then August, then September. And the months that we went to the park, we set up in the front and we started raising money because it was our intent to replace the park fence that surrounded the basketball court. It wasn't enough for us to just clean up the park. There was a fence that was folded up with plenty of holes in it, and we said, you know what? We're going to get some money and we're going to replace this fence. And we have been raising money since June to replace this fence. And what we're doing now is we have shirts. We have black T-shirts with white lettering on it that says "We Saved Malcolm X Park," and it has a picture of a park on it. If you go to Voices Beyond the Wall Facebook, or if you go to Hudson Valley Reentry Network's Facebook, you'll see a picture of our shirts. We also have a GoFundMe page, and it's the Save Malcolm X Park Initiative. What we're doing now is we're looking for donations to replace that fence. It's going to cost a couple of $1,000s to replace the fence.
And by a couple, you mean over $4,000.
Over $4,000 to replace the fence. And we're looking for your support, individual, as an organization, or otherwise. We want to show the community that formerly incarcerated people can come back to the community and do something magnificent. And if we don't get a dime from anybody else, you can best believe that when March comes around, when May comes around on Malcolm X's birthday, we're going to have a celebration in Malcolm X Park, and we're going to have a new fence there, and we're going to have a new sign there that says Malcolm X Park, and it's going to be adopted by Hudson Valley Reentry Network. We're going to plant our flag right there in Poughkeepsie, because there are men and women who are coming back to the community that want to do something positive. And this is what we're doing up here in Poughkeepsie. And I'm so happy to be a part of that. And by the way, if you look at our Facebook pages and you see the shirts, they were designed by Kathy. So if you like the shirts, you can see the type of artwork that Kathy put in, because these shirts were totally created by Kathy. And they're very nice shirts. We're selling the shirts for $25 each. If anybody,
and all the proceeds,
and every cent of the proceeds, not 10%, not 20%, not 50%, not 75%. Every dime that we get from the shirts is going toward building that fence. Every cent. What we did was, and here was our, here's how we got to the point of even getting the shirts. When we started to clean the park up in June, what we did was we got one of those polar bear big water containers, those 5-gallon containers, and we set up a table right on the edge of the street, and we let everybody know that we're raising money for the fence. Help us out. We raised a couple of $100 that day, and then we raised another couple of $100 the next day. We took every cent that we had and we purchased some shirts online. After we've purchased the shirts online, then we had Kathy create a nice design. Then we went to the printer with the remaining amount of money that we had,
and Paula Henry was a big contributor as well. Maybe you were getting to that later.
Yeah, which Paula Henry, my sister, gave a substantial donation for us to move to the next level of getting more shirts and to get these shirts printed. So we have around about 60 or 70 shirts.
Maybe more than that. That we can sell. That's going to. So what sizes? I know they go up to 3X, but they start at large.
They start at large, extra large, 1X, 2X, and 3X.
Yeah, extra large and 1X is the same, but
right.
It went from large, extra large,
right,
and 2X, and
right,
3X.
So that was our plan, because we took every cent that we had, we purchased shirts, and that's basically our fundraiser. Now in March of next year, and we're still.
I was just gonna say, if anybody who is even incarcerated wants to buy a shirt, they can't wear them. They could send it home
to their
family.
Right.
Just include $5 for the shipping so that we can send it down to their family. We'll send it wherever you'd like it to go. So,
right.
And it'll be, we can let them know that you made a donation on their behalf.
Right. And
we're not making anything on the shipping. It's just enough to get it down to wherever you'd like it to go.
Right. And so we're looking for your support. And if you want to support what we're doing, it's Hudson Valley Reentry Network. And what is it? It's 55 Mansion Street, number 1008, Poughkeepsie, New York, 12601.
02. Right.
Okay.
12602.
12602. Again, that's if you want to send your contributions to help with the Save Malcolm X Park initiative. You can send it to Hudson Valley Reentry Network, 55 Mansion Street, Box 1008, Poughkeepsie, New York, 12602. And in addition to that, you can have your family members go to GoFundMe at the Save Malcolm X Initiative.
Save Malcolm X Park Initiative.
Save Malcolm X Park Initiative, and you'll see everything up there. You can also go to Voices Beyond the Wall Facebook. You can go to Hudson Valley Reentry Network Facebook, and you can see the various pictures that we had from our past fundraisers, some of the things that we've done.
Before and after
pictures of what we've done in the park. You can see a picture of the shirts, but we ask that you support us. And when you do come out when you do get out and you are coming to the Dutchess County area, we're gonna do marvelous things in that park. One of the things that we plan to do is once we get everything right in the park, a nice fence, a better sign, we're gonna put bleachers up there. What we're going to do is we're going to have 4 events during the course of the year. We're going to have a community day where we have the community just come in. We're going to have some food. We're going to have some music. Hopefully Mike will come back up with his DJ equipment, and we'll have some food, free food.
Mike was a godsend the last time. He and Jeanette, when they came up, they stayed longer than anyone. They came before anybody. They were coming all the way from the city, and they just did so much to help, even beyond the music. So,
Yeah, and so what we're going to do is we're going to have a community day where we just have some music and some free food and some free games for the community to come in, and we'll have speakers. We'll have formerly incarcerated people come up and tell their stories. We're going to have Recovery Day when we're going to have people from the various local recovery centers come in the parks, set up their tables, and dispense information on some of their services. And then we're going to have a couple of other events at the park. What we're going to do, we're going to bring that park back to its active place in the community, because we believe that a park is not only a recreational center, but it's also a mecca of information. And nobody's doing this at Malcolm X Park, and it's our desire to make that happen here. It's our desire to show people what can come out of the penitentiary. What could come out of the penitentiary is somebody who has truly reformed themselves, or people who have truly reformed themselves and who are looking for their place in giving back to the community. That's what's coming out of the penitentiary, and that's what we want to show through the works that we will be doing at Malcolm X Park in Poughkeepsie, New York. So we want you to support us. We want your family members to support us, and we want you to be a part of this. So as I said, in March, we are going to have a fundraiser in the community center in Poughkeepsie, where Mike works at. Mike Love is the executive director of a community center in Poughkeepsie, and we are going to have a fundraiser there. And at the fundraiser, what we're looking to have is comedians, poets, singers, dancers, rappers. What we want a full variety show. Now, we can't pay anybody because this is a fundraiser. But what we're going to do is we want people who are formerly incarcerated, who are willing to come down, or even if they're not formerly incarcerated. If you're formerly incarcerated, that's just an added benefit. But if you're somebody who believes in what we're doing and you have some skill, like I had just mentioned, if you're a comedian, a poet, a singer, a dancer, a drummer, a rapper, we're looking for some real quality talent so that we could promote this fundraiser in March. And it'll be like the third week of March. The next time we're on, we're going to give you some definite dates and some definite locations. Right now is tentative, so I'm not going to give a specific date or a specific location, but it's going to happen. We're going to have some finger food there. We're going to sell our shirts there, and we're going to have some high quality entertainment there. That's what we're going to do, and that'll be in March. And right after March, in April, that fence is going up. The renovations are going to be made in Malcolm X Park. And when Malcolm X's birthday comes about in May, we're going to have the celebration in that park. We are going to show and prove what could come out of the penitentiary. All right?
And it's going to be a nice thing, too, to see the kids have a really nice, safe, clean, beautiful park to play in, too.
Right. And
because it's sad, I guess the thing that touched me going into the park and seeing the kids over there playing basketball, and, there's huge holes in the fences. You can't even believe. I mean, you've got like 3-4 foot holes and some sections where it's not even together. And, here are these kids out there playing basketball, and it's like, why don't they deserve a nice park the way the kids on the other side of town have?
That's right. That's right.
And it's just a sad thing. So we're going to make it something a lot better for them. We're
going to make it happen. And when I say we're going to make it happen, I'm talking about people who are formerly incarcerated and the community. The community in that area of Poughkeepsie would like the park to be as we would like it to be. They want to do their part. The good thing about this is that we're saying that formerly incarcerated people are spearheading this effort to bring the community awareness and assistance in making this happen. And that's a beautiful thing.
And, it's not how much you're giving either, because if somebody sends $1, couple dollars, $5, $10, everything helps because it all adds up.
It all adds up.
Maybe give them the address one more time.
I'm going to give you the address. It's Hudson Valley Reentry Network. P.O. Box is Hudson Valley Reentry Network, 55 Mansion Street, Box 1008, Poughkeepsie, New York, 12602. That's where you can send your check, money order to.
Or you can abbreviate it HVRN. HV is in Victor, RN is in Nancy.
And by the way, Hudson Valley is a non-for-profit organization. It is official. If you are
501c3.
It's a 501c3. How much money do they have to give to get a letter? What is it?
Over $100.
Anything over $100, you get a letter, a donation letter that's tax deductible. You can just file it with your income tax, and you get that money back because it's a donation to a legitimate 501c3 organization. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Make sure you include your name and address.
Just right, exactly. Hold on, we got a call on the line. I think this is Reverend Lula. Good afternoon, Voices Beyond the Wall. This is Ernest and Kathy. Who am I speaking to?
Reverend Lula.
Reverend Lula, how are you? Merry Christmas.
Hey, same to you. Same to you.
All right, what's going on? How is the Bible study class going?
Oh my God, it is phenomenal. We've just reached a phenomenal amount of what? We're over 800
Wow.
who have enrolled. So it is just going well, and that's in part thanks to you too, because the shout out that you give to us, we receive letters from the men, and they've heard, the announcement on your radio station. So you are a large contributor to this number that is climbing weekly. And thank you so much. I wanted to call in and say, how is it that I'm hearing you talk?
Because it's on delay. Don't let that make you crazy there, because it'll make you crazy.
It sure is. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Am I losing it? Yes.
Yeah, it's on delay, Reverend Lula.
Okay. So all is well. I'm so impressed with the show today. My daughter-in-law and I have been listening to it from start to finish.
Great.
And it's amazing, the phenomenal work that Michael Casio, I believe it is.
Yes, yes.
Paralegal, yes, the Prestige Paralegal firm. They are doing such a wonderful work. And, of course, being a mother myself, whose son is incarcerated, that touched my heart deeply to see the integrity that they have. And because I've been down that path as well, hiring private eyes and going after lawyers. And really, they take your money and then nothing,
Yep.
So I can personally empathize with what the mother went through, and I can imagine that this is a great Christmas for her, and I'm looking forward for that being my testimony one day. And the work that you and Kathy are doing, you have our support. You will be getting, indeed, a donation from the Reach Out and Touch Prison Ministry.
Thank you very much.
I'm very impressed with all of that I'm hearing, Ernest. My heart is so stirred within me. This has been a phenomenal show. I've enjoyed every second of it. And my daughter-in-law, she's listening for the first time.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys are listening.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And, of course, we have quite a few students who I'm sure are listening at this time as well.
You want to shout some out?
Oh, sure. Of course. Of course. I want to give a shout-out to all of our wonderful, dedicated students, and for the beautiful Christmas cards that they sent to us. It was absolutely marvelous. Now, I cannot get to their names, but I know that there are some in Otisville, as well as Green Haven. We have Dominic, of course, my son Alan, and we have Paul Clark, and we have, my God, the list just goes on. And then in Otisville, we have some students there, Fishkill as well. Where else? Shagwankunk, I believe it's called. So we just have students all over the upstate Dutchess County area. And again, Ernest, thank you so much for making this wonderful program that we have instituted for the men and women who are behind bars to have an opportunity to enroll in a free Bible study program. And as I indicated, over 800 men and women are currently involved, and that list is growing daily. So it's free, of course. Doesn't cost them anything. We'll be happy to receive new enrollments anytime they want to write to us and ask to join. They can write to Reach Out and Touch Prison Ministry, or just ROTPM at P.O. Box 120249, and that is in St. Albans, New York, 11412. Again, that is ROTPM, P.O. Box 120249, St. Albans, New York, 11412. And I just want to say Merry Christmas to all of the wonderful men and women who we have been privileged to minister to and to have enrolled in our program. And we want them to know that we are praying for them. Don't give up hope. Hang in there. Hold on. Their day will come. And I know that God is with them and that we are praying for them daily. And we wish them nothing but Godspeed. And we are looking to hear more testimonies about the release of those men, especially those men and women who have been languishing in prison for years and are not guilty of what they have been sentenced, the crime that they have been sentenced to. So we pray, we take it very seriously, Ernest. They are really in our hearts daily, and we're on a mission like you are, to help them and to be that voice for them and to be that source of help in their time of need. So thank you for this opportunity, for allowing me to call in. And you and Kathy have a very blessed Christmas and a very healthy, happy, and prosperous New Year. And we will be back on the station. We have the dates.
Okay.
And we, Reverend Michael, will be getting in touch with you to firm up the date that you've given to us when we'll be back live.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Just give me a call and we'll pencil you in, because we're looking forward to it. And I'm pretty sure you heard that we'll be uploading all of our shows from now on YouTube. So they'll be
on YouTube.
On YouTube. They'll be accessible to every and anybody. We're going to upload them by date. That way, if someone wants to listen to a particular show and date, it'll be easy to access and identify.
Wonderful.
All right.
Wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to all of the great things that God is doing with Voices Beyond the Wall. And as I said, we want to be a part of that. So you definitely have our support as well as our prayer. I think that you're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you for being that voice for all of those men and women who are beyond the walls and behind the walls who don't have a voice for themselves.
Thank you.
You and Kathy are doing a magnificent job.
And thank you for the work that you're doing, because you know what? We were just talking about this gentleman named Philippe Rodriguez. And after 27 years, they finally let him out of prison and acknowledged that he was innocent. But I don't know Philippe personally, but we were in the same space together in the same prison. And I know that this gentleman here, had it not been for someone connecting him to God, I have no idea where this man would be. So what you guys are doing is very important, because when you're in the belly of the beast, you need a shepherd. And sometimes you don't even know that he's there, but when it's all over with, you got to admit that he was there. Even if you don't admit it at that same time, you got to admit it.
That's right.
So
and we get so many letters, Ernest, from men and women who have absolutely no one, no support, and they say, we have become their family. And that just touches our hearts, We send birthday cards to everyone who's in our database, and they said, this is the only card that I receive. I've been in prison 10 years, and no one has ever sent a birthday card to me. So we're doing what we can to reach them behind, prison walls, to let them know that someone out here cares for them, praying for them, love them, and to help them to just hold on. And hopefully that someday, their change will come. And we are there also when they are released. We've referred many of them to jobs and housing and programs, etc. So we are not just sending out Bible study lessons, but we let them know that when you enroll in our Bible study lesson, you become a part of the Reach Out and Touch Prison Ministry family. And we are here to help you through this journey that you're on now. And we are not just there for when you're behind prison walls, but even when you come out. And thank God, many of them have called our office, and we were able to supply different things for them to help them get on their feet. And we still have a connection to so many of the men and the women who've been released from prison. So it may begin there, but then it doesn't end there. And one of the beautiful things that I heard today in church was that it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
That's right.
Right? When the preacher spoke about Jesus Christ's beginning, how he was born in a stable, but now he's seated at the right hand of the Father. So for those men and women who are behind bars, it may be a difficult place that you're in right now, but I don't believe that place will define your destiny, your future. It does not.
Right.
I believe that God has a plan and a purpose, and as we hold on and trust in him and seek him and let him lead us and guide us, we'll be surprised at where he will take us from where we are to where he plans, he desires us to be. So I just pray that everyone, I know it's not a time of year where I go around shouting Merry Christmas to everyone, because I know it's not necessarily a merry time for everyone, but I wish them a blessed Christmas and let them know that our prayers are with them, the men and women behind prison walls.
Yeah.
So again, Ernest, keep up, you and Kathy, the great work that you're doing, the phenomenal work that you're doing, because you're really, in essence, helping those who can't help themselves at this time by being that voice for them.
Thank you.
God bless you. And until the next time, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Kathy. Hopefully, she wasn't there when we were there before.
No, she wasn't.
But,
she's making a cameo today.
Okay, this is a cameo. I'm sorry that we're not there, but
Yeah.
we'll get that opportunity to meet Kathy as well.
Yeah.
And we certainly look forward to joining you in the very at the beginning of the new year. I believe there are some dates that Reverend Michael is going to get back to you, where we look to come again with the rest of our team, some of our team members, and spend that 2-3 hours with you. We're looking forward to it.
We look forward to it. And when we have some events in the park, you guys are more than welcome to come up and speak.
Absolutely.
And because in Poughkeepsie, there are a lot of people who have family members who are incarcerated, and some of them are outside the listening ear of Voices Beyond the Wall. And for them to know that Reach Out and Touch Prison Ministry exists will be a great thing for them. I believe that would be something great. But thank you very much, and tell Reverend Luciano that we send our regards and Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas, Reverend
Lula.
Lula.
This opportunity. Yes, you too, Kathy.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
God bless you.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Voices Beyond the Wall. This is Ernest and Kathy. You on there?
Hey, Ernest and Kathy.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Oh my gosh, how you doing?
We're doing well. Thank you for the card and everything.
You're very welcome. Very, very welcome.
Ours is going to be late because we
just face it, we didn't even get them out this year. We're so busy. It's horrible.
Our schedule is like totally crazy. We just got one from Dominic, and I feel bad because last year we were on top of our job.
Yep.
This year, but you know, we moved and everything. Our office moved, and you know, it's really no excuse. But
There's
you know,
no excuse.
let me stop trying to make excuses. We kind of late. But Merry Christmas. I have you right here on my pad. I said, you know what? We kind of late on our cars, but we got a list of people to say Merry Christmas to.
You are so welcome, and thank you for thinking about us. And I want to read something to you, and of course, it's biblical, but I want to read it because it makes a point, and then I'm going to tell you where it was other than in the Bible for this Christmas season, okay?
Okay.
So, okay, thank you. It comes from Luke 2, verses 1 through 14. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. I wanted to read this to you because this was actually in the Daily News years back. I had cut it down, and I would hang it up every year, particularly at work. And then, of course, I don't know if you know, but of course, I am now retired, and so I have it at home. But it was important for me to read it because with our very incorrect political system that we're dealing with, that I just heard on the television today that, how do they call it? There's a war against Christmas. I think that's what this particular pastor said.
A war against Christmas.
A war against Christmas. It was important to know that the Daily News actually had this posted in its paper, and there was a picture around it, like the heralding angels. Those are the angels that are blowing trumpets.
Right,
that
right.
was the picture surrounding it. So I just want you to know that unfortunately, in the years that have passed, we have come so far removed that even, I don't know if the Daily News has done anything like that since. I don't remember seeing it. They may have. But I just wanted you to know that there was somebody who thought enough to not only, write it, to put it into the news, but to also for the news to publish it.
Wow.
So that's why I wanted to share it. And I just wanted to say that we're in a season, of course, of what everybody has been saying. We're in a season of hope. We're in a season of you have to hold on to the little things and look forward to the great things and don't give up. Whatever the picture looks like, don't give up. Keep your eyes open, but more importantly, keep your heart open. Keep your heart receiving of what God is giving to you. And even when everything around you may look like you're full of doubt and despair, don't give up. And I don't know who the message is for outside of myself personally, but, but you just keep your hope. Keep your hope. I always say if you have breath, you have hope. And that's so important, especially nowadays. We have so much going on around us. And if we lose sight of the hope that God has given to us, what do we have?
Exactly.
I am a person who continues to say Merry Christmas because I believe in the reason for the season. And it's just important that it's Merry Christmas, but yes, it's Merry Christmas and it's blessings for not only for the Christmas season, but definitely for the new year. I gave up the resolution thing a long time ago, but I do make it a point of making decisions. And I make those decisions and I stick to them.
Right.
So I'm not going to resolute. I will definitely make a decision and say, yes, this is a decision that I'm making for the start of the new year, and I'm going to put my foot in forward motion, and I'm going to stick to those decisions that I make. So whatever anybody has, whether they're making a decision to go forward with a fight legally, like it has been spoken of on the show, if they are making a decision to move from this door to next door, do it. Life is short. Life is so short. And as long as you have breath, you have hope. So
that's right.
Put your feet forward and keep it moving. But I want to say thank you to you. I want to say thank you to Kathy. I know Brother Love is not there, but the show has meant so much to me and to my husband, as everybody knows, him, Tyson. It has meant so much to us. You have given us a place. You have given us a voice. You have given us an opportunity to share. And we are so very appreciative of all that you have done for us and for everybody who listens. It is amazing for us to just be a part of your world. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here for us, because
You're very
we all make up this world called Voices Beyond the Wall.
And we appreciate
we
you
appreciate
a lot.
you.
And, you know, the next time you have a word, call in with that, too, because that's like a feature everyone seems to like.
One of the guys at Greenhaven, he was like, "Do you have another word?" And I really was. I never thought it would have that kind of impact.
Sure.
Well, maybe explain what the word is, because some people maybe never heard in the past.
Oh gosh! But you know what? Here is something that maybe people don't know. So we've used "ain't" for so long that now it's a part of Webster's dictionary.
ATE?
No, ain't.
No.
Oh, ain't. Oh, really?
Ain't. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Look, here's your very imperfect English. Like, I ain't doing that. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been used for so long that it was one of the words that was added to the dictionary.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So here goes a part of the language that has been, I guess, just incorporated into life over however many years. And I guess it's so inbred it that they decided, you know what, we're going to just make this a word. I don't know how
we give up.
Yeah, they just conceded. Webster just conceded. He said, we give up. We just going to let you do it.
We're just going to give you this one. Right. So, I mean, you know, look, I don't know. Maybe that's progress. Who knows? But listen, at least now you're dictionally correct.
Yeah, right?
But listen, thank you so much to my husband. I love you. I wish you a very Merry Christmas. I wish you New Year's blessings. To Panama in particular, I want to say thank you to him, because I know that he is rock solid support where Tyson is concerned. I know that, and I really appreciate him for that. I appreciate all the guys of AVP, the guys of oh gosh, I'm feeling like you for a minute, Ernest. For help me, the other one. Ernest, help me.
What's that?
Exodus.
Yeah.
Exodus. Okay, so I it just went out my head for a minute. But I just want to say that, you know, I know you see my husband all the time, and some of the guys, they see me some of the time, but I am very highly in support of the programming, what is going on there, not just those two programs, but also with the youth assistance program. Mm-hmm. Lives are being touched inside and outside, and sometimes we will never know the difference of what someone has made in another person's life until years later, or maybe never, till when all of this is said and done.
Right.
I know for myself that has happened. I know that I've had people come later and say, do you remember? And honestly, sometimes I don't remember. But just to know that no matter where you are, you can have an impact on a life, and it will change that life for the rest of their life, meaning that someone else's life behind that is touched, and so forth and so on. So the guys at Greenhaven, God bless you. May God shine upon you. I wish you the best in the new year, but throughout the state, the men and the women throughout the state, keep your heads up, keep your faith strong, keep your hope alive, and just have the best Christmas that you can, and be blessed at all times. All times.
All right.
Ernest and Kathy, love you much. Love you so much. And thank you. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And we'll definitely be speaking with one another.
All
love
right.
you too.
Love
Merry
you
Christmas.
too. Merry Christmas.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you. Okay.
Peace.
Bye.
All right, let's do a station identification, and then we're going to get Mike Love on the line. You're listening to Voices Beyond the Wall, New York Prison Talk Radio Show, coming to you live from the Vassar College radio station, 91.3 WVKR FM, Poughkeepsie, New York. I'm your host, Ernest, and along with me, my wife, Kathy, is here in the studio with us.
Hi, everyone.
Kathy hasn't been here for a while, but it's fitting for the close of the 2017 year for her to come in and help us wrap up this year, and for her to just bless us with her presence. A lot of people
don't know about all that, but I'm happy to be here today.
Well, a lot of people don't know Kathy does a lot of things behind the scenes. This work couldn't be done without her. I mean, you guys hear me on the radio all the time, but what you don't know and what you don't see is me bum fumbling out of the house saying, Kathy, could you print that article for me? Could you print that email that person sent? And Kathy sending me out to the show prepared. Even sometimes I come, Mike, is that you, Mike?
Yes,
Give me 1 second. Let me finish this sentence here. What people don't see is me coming to the show seeming like I'm prepared, but only prepared because I had Kathy that was more organized than I am, and finding things that if I would have went on the computer that I probably would have never found, or if I would have found them, it would have took me at least an hour. But thank you for what you do for Voice Beyond the Wall, Kathy.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too, babe. Mike Love, what's going on, brother?
Everything is going well. Ernest, how you doing, my brother?
Good. I was just telling everyone before we got into the meat of the show that Mike Love, he had a couple of things to do being this Christmas Eve, but it was very important for you to call in and give your shout outs and let people know that, listen, I'm here for you. So listen, Mike, this is your time. What's up, brother?
Everything is going quite well, Ernest. It gets better and better all the time. I'm digging in my roots into the community of Poughkeepsie, making things happen. As you know, last Sunday, a week from the day, we had our big Christmas party, for the children and their families of our Born Again Disciples program. Mm-hmm. So we fed 106 families. That translates to roughly 400 people.
And what's the name of that community center you have?
The Hudson Valley Community Center, and it's the home of the Born Again Disciples. So I run both those programs. It's located in Poughkeepsie on 110 South Grand Avenue, and it's a sprawling 40,000 square foot complex. We have the gym. We just put up some brand new glass. What do you call that? Breakaway rim backboards. That was a work, man. I'm thinking it was heavy, man. I need to be on the weights to do that, or get some of my peeps. I'm saying the one side who lift up everything in the yard, but we got up, took all morning, and it's just been a very active week, man. So the Christmas party was very nice. We allow the kids and the caregivers to submit to us wish lists of what they want for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And that was fulfilled. Kids was making requests from anything from a journal and some other things to bicycles. So we had a room full of gift wrap, gifts, and these kids got these gifts mostly for people they didn't know. So that was good to see families, coming out of there. Plus, it was covered by the Hudson Valley Community, Hudson Valley News Network. They cover that, and I got the link for that. So anybody who wants it, I can send that to them. So that went very well, So that was our two biggest ones since I've been home. That and the Thanksgiving one, which took place on November 18th.
Yeah.
Both events was very, very successful. allows you to also, meet people and connect, networking is so very important. That's why I always tell brothers, even while we're incarcerated, we should do everything we can to build up viable networks. Right. Those networks serve us, man, as you know so well in this, even upon our release. So we did that, and then this Thursday, if you remember, I said about 3 months ago, I was invited to speak at the Reentry Task Force Network.
Right. That's this Thursday.
I thought that was the one that Governor Pataki had put together. Remember when he put one together?
Yeah.
But this is not. This
was a local one.
It's a local one, yeah. What's his name? Tom Angel.
Right.
He's the director of public offenders. I think you know him, right?
Yeah.
Public
was that
offenders.
This Thursday, Mike? That passed?
Yeah, this Thursday, man.
Okay.
And,
I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, they gave me the whole time, man, and wow, just gave it up to them raw in a way that they could appreciate. And guess who was there?
Who was that?
The supervisor of my parole officer was there. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Really?
Yeah, and he shook my hand. He said to me, "I'm really, really impressed with you, Mr.
That's good. That's good.
It was quite an experience. I had about a half-hour questioning and answering session, and they asked some good questions. Most of the questions related to the kids. And don't forget, Ernest, by the way, I wrote an article for the Poughkeepsie Journal. That was already published online on the 22nd of December, and it's going to be published on a hard copy in the newspapers next week. So,
what's the name of the article?
Listening. It's called "Get Back to the Business of Saving Our Children."
Okay, good.
And so it's a 750 word, and it's receiving some accolades. People really they did articles on the money, because what I'm basically saying is you remember the African proverb that says, when you raise, it takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
Right? Well, it seems like that has fallen out of disfavor. And I talk about how the state is very good at allocating an abundance of resources when it comes to criminalizing and incarcerating our children. But I find that trying to locate funds for proactive programs or help these children, saying all of a sudden that becomes conspicuously scarce.
Right.
It's scarce. You can't find it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and out there, you can't find something, but you just got to kind of work real hard to finding it.
But
when it comes to locking them up and criminalizing them, it's easy to find out. It seems like they draw from an inexhaustible resource. They never know such thing as we don't have enough money for this. We always have enough money to lock our kids up. And you meet these kids are so angry and so hurt, man, and they become laws unto themselves because they know that they don't matter in a lot of people's lives.
Right.
That their lives is cheap and expendable. And for a kid to internalize that kind of way of thinking or feeling, I'm gonna position them for failure at a very early age. So I even put the churches on blast. I told the churches, I said, the churches have become so exclusive in terms of what they do that they don't care about children, but it's almost like they're fearful of dealing with these problematic children, or they don't know what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? So they focus more so on the children within their own personal congregations.
Right, because it's work to help people that are not on the path. But when you talk about the church, there was a proverb about going after the lost sheep, and a lot of these clergymen, they forget that proverb, that piece in the Bible.
Well, you're right, my brother. In fact, my organization, before I got on board, they went to most of these churches in the communities, and they noticed that the churches felt that they was trying to take members from their community. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't it, because we're not a church. We're just looking for. What I said in the article I wrote, I said, well, listen, you ain't got to go to a third world country to do missionary work. You can do missionary work right here in our communities.
Right.
We have a harvest of missionary fields in our own community. We don't have to go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So they was finding out they wasn't getting that support. We were looking for support in terms of volunteers. We were looking for support in terms of resources, financial resources, or even equipment. And people was they promised that they would do those things, but they never came through. So
wow.
I find that my church, the Calvary Chapel of Hudson Valley, New York, is the one that does most of the missionary work for these inner city children.
Wow.
And my thing is that these are our churches. You have like 150 churches, I believe, in the Poughkeepsie area.
Uh-huh.
So, why have they made themselves so irrelevant? You know what I'm saying? So I might get some pushback on that, but that's good because I want to stimulate the kind of conversation with that kind of controversial position I'm taking. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm calling them out in a nice way, though. You know, I'm not.
Well, you don't have to be nasty to call somebody out.
No. Just to get them to think about it. Let's have this discussion about it. Or even better than that, let's get in the trenches and work together towards making lives for these children a little better.
Right.
You know?
So Mike, this is your first Christmas out, right?
Yeah, man.
So, I just want to mention, because sometimes we have people that just call in that just listen to our show on a whim. But I really want to highlight some of the things that you have been doing. You've only been out for what, 11 months, 10 months? How long you been out?
Only 9 months.